Hello and welcome back into the stream. Alongside me is Levi Couvert, and we got a great game, Levi, between your Seattle Cheney Studs and the Redmond Dudes. On the bump tonight for the Studs, Andrew Moberly. He's tossing, a whip of 0.87. He's given up 10 earned runs in 25 innings of work. And on the other side, you got JoJo Gonzalez pitching for the Dudes. The Studs have taken the last two matchups against the Dudes, Levi. Do you expect a third straight win?
I do, Drew. Actually taking the last three matchups, there's a doubleheader that they won both legs of. They won 11-1 and 11-7. Then they go on the road and beat them in UW as well. Yeah. So I think the Studs have proven this season that they are the better team. I do expect a Studs victory tonight.
Studs are 14-1 in their last 15 against opponents in the Pacific International League.
It's been an impressive
domination,
run.
Levi. If it continues tonight, that would be 15-1, unprecedented stuff.
Yeah, unprecedented, but this is the team that the Studs have assembled. They've assembled a winning team. They've assembled a group of guys who are able to play defense. They're able to hit the ball. They're able to pitch the ball, and they are going to be in Wichita. They're going to be competing for a National Baseball Congress World Series title. This is a really good team.
Let's go over the Studs defense out there under the catcher position. Jack Bergstrom at first, Logan Shepard. Jake Gallagher is over at second base. Jeremiah Crane at shortstop. Makana Morishige at third. In left field, you got Aiden Dance. In center field, Drew Kamihara. And in right, Isaiah Afwerk. And stepping onto the hill for the first pitch is Andrew Moberly. He looks in and gets the sign, and we are off and underway, and it's a called strike number one. First pitch, 5:31 p.m. At the plate for the Dudes, as the 0-1 comes in, and that is inside for ball number one, is Declan Brown, the catcher. A rare leadoff catcher position.
Yeah, a rare leadoff catcher position, but we saw some good things out of Declan Brown back in Seattle last weekend, so I don't doubt why he is batting leadoff.
The 1-1 comes in, and that is just in there for strike number two. A late call by the umpire. Looked to miss just outside, but Moberly will take it, and the count moves to 1-2. Moberly doesn't throw the ball super hard. Right-handed freshman from Rented, goes to Pierce College. 5'10", 175, has a low 90s fastball as the 1-2 comes in. A swing and a foul tip and a nice play by the catcher, Jack Bergstrom, and that is a strikeout to lead off the game for the Studs. So a good start early on for Andrew Moberly. And now they'll bring up Kalen Kimata, the second baseman, sporting the jersey number 76, wearing the red top and the gray pants, as all of the Dudes are. Has some black batting gloves with the black helmet as the first offering comes in, and it is just up high. Barely missed the top of the zone for ball number one. Looks in, gets the sign from Bergstrom, the windup, and the 1-0. In there for strike number one down the heart of the plate. Count moves to 1-1 strike.
Kimata at the plate, a two-way player. He pitches and plays the infield. Batting .286 this year. Also sports a 3.24 ERA.
The 1-1 comes up high, but waved and missed at for strike number two. Gets the sign, looking for back-to-back Ks to start the game here in the top of the first. The 1-2, swing and a miss for strike number three. Got him with the high heat. And that will be the second out here in the top of the first inning. Immediate success for Andrew Moberly here to start off the ball game. And now there will be two outs. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Jack Varney. Hitting from the left side, the pitch. Fouled back. Varney playing left field today. Down in an early hole 0-1. Mobley looks in. The windup and the pitch. That skips in for ball number 1. His first big miss of the inning. Mobley has been very successful at throwing pitches right in or around the zone.
Yeah, it's been an impressive start for Moberly, to say the least.
The 1-1 comes in, and that's way outside. 2-1. It is blue skies here in Tacoma. Still a hot day. Some low 80s temperatures, but nothing compared to a few days ago, Levi, where we were playing baseball in 95-degree heat. The Studs still picked up a win against the Gumbaroos in that matchup, though, as the 2-1 pitch comes in, and that just misses outside, so the count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Drew, down to the low 80s today, so definitely not that extreme heat. Still a warm day out, but today should be a little bit easier on these players' bodies.
The windup in the 3-1. Fly ball over towards shallow center field. Moving over it is Kamihara. He will make the play for out number 3. So it's a 1-2-3 top of the first here for Andrew Moberly. He picks up a couple of strikeouts, and that will bring up the Seattle Cheney Studs in the bottom of the first inning. It's the Redmond Dudes nothing and the Studs nothing. We'll be back right after this short break. Clean start. You want to check that stream real quick?
Yeah, I will. Why is this not charging?
And welcome back into the broadcast. The Studs are taking plate for the first time here in the bottom of the first inning and back in the lineup after a game of absence on Tuesday against the Gumbaroos is the third baseman Makana Murray-Shige. And he has been tearing up the baseball as of late, hitting .357 on the year and has earned that leadoff position for the Studs. On the bump for the Redmond Dudes, Jojo Gonzalez. As Gonzalez fires in the first pitch, and he spikes that one into the ground for ball number 1. Playing defense for the Redmond Dudes behind the plate is Declan Brown. Gonzalez is pitching. Jim O'Brien is at first base. Kalen Kamada over there at second. Emilio Feliciano at shortstop. Rory Swanson over at third as the next pitch comes way up high for ball number 2. In left field is Jack Varney, the center fielder Will Sell, and Peter Hollabow. Over in right field, the DH is going to be Kahi Taruya as the 2-0 offering comes in, and that just misses for ball number 3. So Gonzalez a little erratic here to start the top of the first. Not what you want to see if you're a Redmond Dudes fan, but the Studs love to see it as the 3-0 pitch comes in there for strike number 1. The Studs have been able to capitalize on somewhat erratic pitchers all season long, have been able to work long counts, and have found themselves on base even when the hitting totals are about the same at the end of the day as the 3-0 comes up and in for ball number 4. The Studs have been able to take advantage of walks, hit by pitches, has good base running, and Makana Murray-Shige starts it off with a walk. So now a runner on first base, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Aiden Dance. Dance hitting .273 on the year as the next pitch comes in. And is that going to be called a balk? No. The umpires are just going to call time.
And I actually think that may have been the mistake up in the booth, Drew. I think the music just may have played a little bit too long.
Happens to the best of us, Levi.
Oh,
Gotcha.
you want me to say it?
The next pitch, bounced in. Makana Murishige will take second base. He is in there for a stolen base. So one pitch and one stolen base for Makana Murishige. So Dance ahead 1-0. There was an interruption because someone parked in front of the gate over in the parking lot, so nothing to be too alarmed of as Murishige takes his lead over at second. Taking a peek is Gonzalez. The 1-0 almost hits him inside. Just grazes his shirt perhaps, but will not go down as a hit by pitch. 2-0. Dance hitting .273 on the year. One of the latest acquisitions for the Studs as the 2-0 comes in up high for ball number 3.
And Drew, you can see the contrast right here between these two starting pitchers. Moberly came out firing strikes right away. Gonzalez has come out and just can't seem to find the zone at all.
As the 3-0 pitch comes in, and that's just up high for ball number 4, so it's a back-to-back walks. And early on here, the Studs have something brewing for Jeremiah Crane. And you're right, Levi. It's all about controlling the zone as a pitcher. You can throw the nastiest of slider. You can throw an 100-mile-per-hour fastball, but it just simply doesn't matter if you can't find the strike zone. And right now, Jojo Gonzalez has been unable to as the pitch comes up high for ball number 1. And the balls keep rolling in here in the top of the first. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just lob one in there. Let the hitters beat you. And the Studs are a great team, but sometimes that will even work for them. As the next pitch comes in, it's a fly ball out towards right center field. Moving under it is the center fielder, Will Sell, who will toss it back into the infield, but Murishige will take advantage and move on over to third. So it's a 1-out sacrifice fly, and Murishige will take third base. So runners are now on the corners, 1 out, and look who it is, Levi. Coming up is the big bat, DH Ben Schnurman. And as the last guy you want to face if you're the Dudes right now, he is hitting .472 on the year, been crushing baseballs, and has an early opportunity here to put the Studs on the board. Looks in and gets the sign. The pitch. Runner goes, and there will be no throw over to second, so credit Aiden Dance with a stolen base. And now there are 2 runners in a scoring position, and the double play ball is off. So 1-0 here to Schnurman. Gonzalez looks in. The pitch. Just up high for ball number 2, and that one seemed to maybe have grazed the top of the strike zone, but home plate umpire doesn't think so. The zone doesn't seem to be super large today, and early on the Studs have been able to take advantage of it. 2-0 here to Schnurman. The pitch. In there for strike number 1. That catches the inside part of the plate for strike number 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Schnurman. A hitter's count in a big spot. The 2-1. That's down and away for ball number 3. Green light means go, Levi, and Schnurman has a chance to tear this baseball into left field. 3-1 count. A fastball is probably coming, and Schnurman is going to be hunting the heater. The 3-1. Line drive right field, that will get down into the gap. Coming on to it is the right fielder. Coming around third will be Aiden Dance. 1 run will score and 2 runs will score. So it's a 2 RBI knock for Ben Schnurman on a laser out towards right center field. Peter Hollabo was the man coming under it and throwing it back into the infield, but it was way late, and now the Studs will have drawn blood first. 2-0. here in the bottom of the first, and that will bring up the second baseman, Logan Shepard. The pitch. Down low for ball number 1. Correction, Shepard is playing first base today. Schnerman is actually at the DH position. Sherman usually locks down that first base spot, but has a defensive breakout there. As the 1-0 comes in, and that's outside for ball number 2.
Schnerman Drew, that was his 37th and 38th runs batted in on the season. He leads the league by 7 in that category.
He has been dominant, to say the least, Levi. Looking like a man playing with kids right now. As the 2-0 pitch comes in, a line drive out towards right field. That's going to get down into the gap. Coming around is Schnerman. He's going to be huffing and puffing around third base. The throw in, Schnerman. The throw to the plate will be not in time. Ben Schnerman scores from first base, and it's an RBI double for Logan Shepard. Ben Schnerman was huffing and puffing around third base and just gets in there before the throw. The second baseman, Kalen Kamada, kind of hesitated when he threw that ball into home plate. And that slight hesitation was the difference. So now that'll bring up Isaiah Afwerk. Over at second will be Shepard. Afwerk's hitting .379 on the year, hitting from the right side of the plate. The first offering, a curveball, misses up high for ball number 1.
And that has been a theme throughout this inning. Curveballs missing high.
Curveball's missing high, fastball is missing away. There's just been no consistency with Gonzalez here early on. The next pitch, and finally finding the outside corner of the plate for strike number 1. The 1-1. Line drive right at the third baseman, who's unable to make the play. Coming around third is going to be Logan Shepard. The throw to the plate is not in time. Another run batted in by Isaiah Afwerk. That will go down as an E5. But Afwerk will take it. The Studs score another one. It is their 4th plated of the bottom of the first inning, and the Studs, Levi, doing what they do best, jumping out early on teams, not letting them breathe, and it's 4-0.
Yeah, getting out to a quick lead. We've seen them do this a couple times at home against this very same Dudes team. They scored 22 runs in a single day against this team.
You need a cough drop, Levi? As the first pitch comes in, foul back.
No, just had a little something in there, but
those summer colds, I'm telling you, they get you.
They do.
Levi, of course, been working all day at the poolside. How's it been? I assume pretty busy today.
Busy, warm, a lot of people. Nice to be out of there.
Yeah, I bet. As the 0-1 pitch comes in, that's a curveball missing high. Once more, 1 ball and 1 strike. Do you practice play-by-play commentating, anything like that, while you're sitting on the chair watching kids swim around for hours on end?
And there goes Jimmy to the left side of the pool with the ball as the Marco Polo game continues. No, a little bit.
The 1-1 is outside for ball number 2. I'd be doing the same thing, Levi. You know me. I pretty much play-by-play commentate most things in my life. So I'm glad you commentate the Marco Polo game. Unfortunately, I can't be there to be your color commentator. But if the 2-1 pitch is outside.
Not sure what kind of insight you'd be able to offer, Drew. I mean, back in your Marco Polo days, I'm sure you were an absolute stud in the pool. But
you know, Jimmy out there, he's got to be aware of the guy coming out of the pool. You got to call fish out of water there.
An important rule, often missed.
It's true. It's like a drop third strike, you know, kind of a rule that not everyone sees. This 3-1 pitch comes in, fouled away for strike number 2. Count runs full.
And speaking of things that not everyone sees, Jack Bergstrom. This guy has gone completely unnoticed this year. He's hitting in the 7-hole, hitting .382 batting average, 3 doubles, 17 runs batted in, 14 runs scored. He's having a heck of a season despite hitting in the 7-hole. I mean, what a player.
The payoff pitch. Fly ball shallow center field. Moving under it will actually be the shortstop, and that will be out number 2. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Levi. It didn't come to fruition there, but Bergstrom, 382 at the catcher position, no less. And that's very impressive. And now it'll be Jake Gallagher, the second baseman, and he's not have as I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm struggling as the first pitch comes outside. He hasn't had as hot of a start. That's what I was trying to say, Levi.
No, he has not.
He's hitting 189. Man, I mean, it's hot, but it's not that hot. I don't know what's happening here. All right, the Stud's locking back in. 2 outs. Runner on second. The pitch is downstairs for ball number 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Studs up 4-0 here early on.
In the Pacific International League in RBIs this season.
I'm going to guess Gallagher is sitting in the 4 spot as the next pitch comes in. It's a check swing, and he did go around. I bet Gallagher's 4th in RBIs in the whole league, Levi.
Drew, he is tied for 5th with 18.
Wow.
So when he does get a hit, it comes in big spots.
Yeah, and, there's other ways to pick up RBIs, sac flies, bunts, etc. So the next offering comes way outside for ball number 3. 3 balls and 1 strike here.
Part of that also because Gallagher has barely missed any time. He's 8th in the league in at-bats with 95.
Okay.
So when you have a lot of opportunities, you're bound to come through.
Hey,
and he has.
Gallagher's been playing a lot as the throw and pitch comes outside for ball number 4, and he's been doing a lot of that as well. He's taken his walks. That's been valuable in other ways. And now, speak of valuable beyond the stats show,
Center fielder.
It's going to be Drew Kamihara. And Kamihara hitting just 218, but how important is he to the team, Levi?
Well, when you have a guy who is as clutch as a defender as Drew Kamihara, he's quick on the base paths, and he does come through with hits when this team needs him. We saw him have a couple of hits 2 days ago, back on Tuesday. Drew Kamihara, he's a good player.
Kamihara is a great player. Not only, does he get the big hit, he can lay down a bunt. He plays center field, Levi. Very important position, obviously. One of the most important positions out on the diamond. He's a veteran. He's played for the UPS Loggers for 3 years now. He knows this field. He knows this team. He's played for the Fish Sticks in the past. He's a veteran. Guys look up to him.
And he does lead the league in one very important category, Drew. You know what that is?
As the first pitch comes inside for strike number 1, actually. So 0-1. What is it, Levi?
Leads the league in walks with 31 walks. He is averaging, Drew, more than 1 walk per game. How about that?
As the 0-1 comes in, a blooper out towards the shortstop who makes a nice play as he backpedals and catches the ball. So 9 batters will come up to bat for the Studs. 4 will score. 2 are left on base. It is going to be 2 base hits, 3 walks, and the Studs are leading 4-0 after 1 inning of play. The Dudes will have their chance to respond in the top of the second. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Attention, please. There's a white Hyundai parked in front of the gate that needs to be moved. If that is anyone's car, please move it accordingly. Thank you very much.
Might be Moberly. Alright, you got walk, flat to center, single, double, E5, flat to center, walk, flat to center. Oh, it's short, yeah. Welcome back into the broadcast. The Studs had a huge bottom of the first inning. They're up 4-0 heading into the top of the second. Andrew Moberly still out there on the bump for the Studs. A little bit more about Moberly, a right-handed pitcher. He throws a few different pitches. Highlighting is the fastball, and he's holding batters to a batting average of 176 on the season. Super impressive stuff by Moberly as Kaihi Taruya steps in the DH, and the first offering comes down low for ball number 1. Moberly has pitched in 5 games, started all 5 of them, 2-2 with the Studs. The next offering catches the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Moberly's K through 9 just a touch below 9, sitting around 8 with 20 strikeouts in 25 innings pitched, giving up just 10 earned runs as the 1-1 comes outside for ball number 2. Went to Kent Ridge High School. Now goes to Pierce College. Was a freshman there last year. As Moberly looks in, the leg kick and the 2-1. Fouled back. Count runs even. Taria steps back in. Last time he was here, he homered at the Puget Sound Loggers Stadium. Moberly trying to limit those types of things from happening today. As the 2-2 comes way outside for ball number 3, the count will move full.
And Taruya is familiar with the field. This is where he attends, University of Puget Sound. After growing up in Maui, he moved over to Tacoma. I wonder what urged him to make that decision.
I'm not quite sure, Levi. I don't know if I would ever leave Hawaii.
Well, perhaps he thought that the quality of baseball was just better here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it probably is. I know you applied to a school out there in Hawaii, Levi.
I did. Didn't end up there, but was interested.
As the payoff pitch comes in there, a swing and a miss for strike number 3. Moberly picks up another K, 3 for 4 on the day with 3 strikeouts. And now that'll bring up Peter Hollabow. Moberly's looked really impressive, Levi. When he's fallen behind in counts, which hasn't been often, he's been able to battle back in them and still produce the out. As the first pitch comes in, a big hack and a miss for strike number 1. Moberly's fastball is listed as just a touch over 90, but it's looking a little faster out there. The dudes have been unable to pick it up as the 0-1 comes outside. The slider runs off the plate. 1-1 here to Hollabow. Moberly looks in. The windup and the 1-1. Line drive out towards left center field. Coming under his dance is going to be Kamihara, who makes the diving play for out number 2. Drew Kamihara out there in center goes Superman mode and catches out number 2. And we've been talking about how valuable Kamihara is to this team, and he shows it right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we discussed last inning, Drew. Drew Kamihara, he shares the name as you. He can run, and he just showed off how valuable that is. He's only 5'4", but he's making a fantastic play out there in center field.
As the first offering comes in there, a curveball almost catches the inside part of the plate, but it doesn't for ball number 1. Yeah, Kamihara, so fast out there. It looked like that was Dance's ball, and out of nowhere, Kamihara stole that for the out. As the next offering comes in, and that misses on the other side of the plate for ball number 2. So both those pitches probably missed a combined 6 inches, 3 on either side of the plate. Moberly is swimming all around the strike zone right now. Let's see if he can find it on the 2-0 count. The curveball is just high, and that just missed upstairs. So now count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. He's missed up, he's missed right, he's missed left. Will he miss downstairs, or can he find the strike zone? The 3-0 pitch incoming. And that misses up and in for ball number 4, so it's a 4-pitch walk. The dudes will have their first base runner of the ball game, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Will Sell.
Shortstop, number 74, Emilio Feliciano.
So Sell will be at first base, and that'll bring up Feliciano, the shortstop. Sell takes his lead over there at first. He will go. The throw in, a nice pick. The throw over to second is way up high, coming into center field. And Kamihara will stop the baseball from going any farther, but credit Sell with a stolen base.
Yeah, not the greatest of throws there for Bergstrom, just sailed a little bit too high.
That ball just sailed above Gallagher's glove. And that was a great pick by Bergstrom, though. That ball bounced in the dirt. He was able to glove it and throw it into second in a very timely manner, but just let it sail. The next pitch is in there for strike number one. Catches the inside half part of the plate. Count moves to 1-1 strike now to Feliciano.
Feliciano out of San Mateo, California. Another guy who left a much warmer, much prettier place to come play baseball in the Pacific Northwest.
As the 1-1 comes inside for ball number two. Warmer, I'll understand. Prettier is one thing, Levi.
Maybe prettier to some people. I love the beaches, but I still choose to go to school in Washington.
I don't know. I think Washington might be up there as the most beautiful state in the country. Prettier, I don't know. Hot? I'll give you that one. As the next pitch comes in, it's fouled back for strike number two. Levi, you were down there in college. You were at San Diego, and you decided to kick that in the curb and come up back to Wazoo and Pullman. An interesting choice.
Well, maybe I would have stayed if San Diego offered a sports journalism program. But, spoiler alert, they did not. Feliciano, he loved California, though, down in San Mateo. He hit .364 last year. 10 runs batted in.
The 2-2 offering. Runner goes. Pop up. Sailing back behind the plate, and that will move foul. So moving back to second base will be Will Sell, and we will do it once more. Couple of balls, a couple of strikes, and a couple of outs. Here in the top of the second inning, it's the Studs up 4-0. Moberly one pitch away from making it a clean second inning. The 2-2. And battled back once more time is Feliciano, so we will do it once more.
Yeah, he's showing some good fight in this at-bat, fouling off some pretty good pitches. He does not want to go down.
A big spot for Feliciano to respond after a big top or bottom of the first, that the Studs put up. Runner will go on contact in a speedy. Will Sell will probably be able to score from second with a base hit. Looks over. The 2-2. Curveball way up high by Feliciano's helmet. He will calmly duck under that one. Count moves full.
Yeah, that's a tough break there for Moberly. He's looking to set him down on strikes, and instead he lets that one sail. Now a full count. It changes the way you approach this at-bat.
Moberly looks in. A big pitch here. Full count. The payoff pitch. Tapped over to second base. Coming under it will be Gallagher. The throw over to first in time for out number 3. So Andrew Moberly picks up another strikeout and gets help from some nice defense out there in center field by Drew Kamihara, and then rolls over out number 3, and it's the Studs 4, the Dudes nothing going into the bottom of the second inning. We'll be back right after this break. Welcome back into the broadcast here in the bottom of the second innings. The Studs up 4-0, and just how the bottom of the first started, so will the bottom of the second. It's going to be the leadoff bat of Makana Murray-Shige. The Studs sent 9 to the plate last inning as Murray-Shige takes a fastball down the plate for strike number 1.
Yeah, Makana Murashige, a great leadoff hitter for the Studs. He's 357 on the season. What a guy. He can hit the ball anywhere.
As the next pitch is just outside for ball number 1. Not only can he reach base, but when he's on the base path, so dangerous, leading the whole league in stolen bases. Rarely gets caught out there. As the next offering comes, bounces in and hits the umpire's face mask for ball number 2. 2-1. Murray-Shige walked his last time up. And that's something else he does really well, Levi.
Yes, only 6 walks on the season, but he does, he has great at-bats.
As the 2-1 comes in there for strike number 2, that was inside, and it was a check swing, and the first base umpire says he did not go. So Murray-Shige all of a sudden, down 0-1, has now worked a hitter's count. 3 balls in 1 strike. The leg kick, the 3-1 up high for ball number 4. So make that back-to-back walks in both the first and second inning for Murray-Shige. And now that'll bring up Aiden Dance. And Levi, we saw Jojo Gonzalez start to kind of feel out the strike zone, but it took him a while to warm up. Maybe the same thing is happening here in the top of the second. Maybe Gonzalez just needs some more time than most pitchers to find the strike zone, as the next pitch catches the bottom left corner for strike number 1.
Well, Drew, if that's the case, he's going to be in for a long night, because you cannot struggle to find the strike zone at the beginning of every single inning and expect to play a clean game of baseball. Too many free passes.
The next pitch, Murray-Shige will go. A nice throw over to second, but Makana Murray-Shige just too fast. And Levi, I don't know what you want to call it, but every time he steals a base, he puts his hand on his helmet and motions towards his dugout with a little like fish motion. I'm not exactly sure what it is.
Yeah, and hard to tell. It might be an S for Studs. I don't really know.
Maybe. He does it every time.
Either
Not only when
way.
he steals a base, though, also when he gets a base hit or makes a nice play in the infield, as the next pitch skips in for ball number 2.
That one put Murashige at 21 stolen bases. So he stole his 20th earlier today, now with 21 on the season.
No fear out on the base paths. None at all. As the 2-1 comes in there, a big swing and a miss for strike number 2. 2-2 here to Dance.
He's also tied with fellow stud Drew Kamihara in second place in the league in runs scored at 34.
As the 2-2 is down low for ball number 3.
If he scores here, it'd be 35.
It's kind of a credit to Kamihara as well. I mean, just hitting 218 compared to Murray-Shige's 357, but has scored the same amount of bases. Or, scored the same amount of times.
And a huge part of that is all those walks that Kamihara has drawn this season. Finding ways to get on base.
3-2 comes in. A bouncer over there towards short. The throw over to first in time. Murray-Shige will try to swipe third base. A nice throw over to third from the first baseman, Jim O'Brien. And Murray-Shige will be out. A bang-bang play over there at third base. And a gift is granted to Jojo Gonzalez.
14, Jeremiah Cray.
All of a sudden, no outs turns into 2. And we just talked about how clean base running Murray-Shige is, and he gets caught trying to do a little too much there. And now that'll be 2 outs. The next offering, a swing and a miss from the shortstop, Jeremiah Crane. Crane 0 for 1 on the day. Flew out to center field his last time up. The 0-1. Curveball misses up high. 1-1. So nobody on base all of a sudden. Gonzalez got gifted a free out from his first baseman, O'Brien, and now trying to take advantage of it. As he throws a changeup in the dirt and swinging over it is Crane. So the count will move to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Crane's been having a great season so far for the Studs, 1.059 OPS.
So 1-2 comes in, line drive right at the right fielder, who has to backpedal a few steps but makes the play for out number 3. So it's an unconventional 1-2-3 bottom of the second inning. Going to the top of the third, the Redmond Dudes have some work to do. The Studs are up 4-0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this break. One shot, one opportunity. Sees everything you ever wanted. One moment. You capture it. Just let it slip, yo.
His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's joking how? Everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, blah. Slip back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he knows he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter, he's broke. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so sad that he knows when he goes back to his mobile home. That's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This whole rhapsody back.
First baseman number 2, Jim O'Brien.
Welcome back into the top of the third inning. The first offering catches the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. Stepping in for the Redmond Dudes is going to be number 2, the first baseman, Jim O'Brien. Looks in. The 0-1 skips in for ball number 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike now to O'Brien. The 1-1 up high for ball number 2. A beautiful day here in Tacoma. The mountain is out over at center field. The sun is shining as the next pitch is outside for ball number 3.
And Drew, that is a phrase that I have heard you say, I'm pretty sure, every single game that we have called together. How lucky have we been this season to get great weather every single day?
As a 3-1 comes outside for ball number 4. Levi, we have been so fortunate. I mean, not only have we not played with any rain, we haven't played baseball with clouds in the sky. And as most of you guys are probably listening from Washington State, but maybe you got, some East Coasters out there, maybe even a couple international people, who knows. That is so rare for the 253. To not see a cloud in the sky? I mean, I know it's summer, but geez, it's been such a beautiful summer here in the Pacific Northwest as the first pitch bounces in for ball number 1. I mean, and this is ideal temperatures for baseball. Yes, a couple of games ago, maybe it was a little hot. Okay, maybe a lot hot. But low 80s, slight breeze. Playing baseball with some of your best friends out there. Beating the Redmond Dudes early on. What more could you want? This next offering comes in, a swing and a miss for strike number 1.
And Drew, you talked about playing baseball with your friends, and of course their friends are their teammates, but also sometimes on the opposing team. Rory Swanson, the guy at the plate, he attends college with a very notable stud. You know who that is, Drew?
Let me think about this one as the 1-1 pitch comes in there for strike number 2. You said very notable, and the first guy comes to mind, Ben Sherman.
It is indeed. Ben
Wow.
Schnurman down at Big Bend Community
Oh,
College.
nice.
Rory Swanson stole 10 bases down there this season, 23 runs batted in, and 32 runs scored. Teammates with Ben Schnurman.
The 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? He did.
Wow.
Sits down on a sword is Swanson, and he will strike out for the first out here in the top of the third. So now that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Declan Brown. Brown's last time up, struck out. And with that, strike it over Swanson. Make that 4 Ks on the game for Moberly. As the next pitch is in there for strike number 1. Just grazes the bottom part of the strike zone. 0-1. Runner on first. You got to think maybe O'Brien is going to try to swipe it back. He takes a pretty hearty lead over there at first. The pitch. Swing and a miss for strike number 2. He could have not hit that with an or, Levi. That ball was way off the plate, but that slider so nasty by Moberly. And Brown swings right over it for strike number 2. Just 1 out here in the top of the third. The Studs are up 4-0 over the Redmond Dudes. Looks in and gets the sign from Bergstrom. And time is called from the second base umpire. I'm not sure why. He popped a few sunflower seeds, so maybe he just wanted a snack break, Levi.
Sometimes everybody needs a snack break, Drew.
I would love one right now. You know what I really want, Levi?
What do you want, Drew?
As the 0-2 pitch comes in, a swing and a miss for strike number 3. It's back-to-back Ks for Andrew Moberly, and it's Declan Brown's second strikeout of the game. That'll bring up Kalen Kimata, who also struck out his last time up. What I want is a Pazuki. I don't know. Do you know what that is, Levi? I mean, not many people do.
Drew, I do happen to know what a Pazuki is.
As the first offering is way outside for ball number 1.
Head on over to BJ's at the mall on a Tuesday. Get that
Oh,
cheap
yeah.
deal. Too bad today is a Thursday.
Well, hey, that's the thing. Guess what they're offering? And this is no promotion, but $6 for an all-you-can-eat Pazuki pass for the whole summer is the 1-0 pitch. A fly ball into the infield. And I'm so disappointed that this is going to be the third out of the top of the third because I can't tell you about my Pazuki story. But if you want to hear about it, stay tuned for the bottom of the third inning. Studs are on top 4-0 over the Dudes.
Designated hitter number 35, Ben Schnurman.
Welcome back into Puget Sound Loggers Ballpark. Coming up to bat is the DH, Ben Schnurman. Studs up 4-0 over the Dudes. Sherman singled his last time up, and it was a huge 2 RBI knock out towards right field as the first pitch comes in and fouled back for strike number 1. Now, I left the audience on a cliffhanger. I'm sure they're all super interested in this Pazuki story as we got some sentiment from the broadcast booth. I appreciate that, John, over there. As the 0-1 pitch comes in, and that hits Sherman. And Sherman will increase his on-base percentage and will take first base. And that'll bring up Logan Shepard. Shepard doubled his last time up.
Number 6, Logan Shepard.
Shepard doubled his last time up and scored Sherman all the way from first base. That ball was hit in the gap, the deepest part of the ballpark, out towards right center field. As the first offering comes outside for ball number 1. So typically, $5 Pazukis on Tuesdays. Well, this summer, $6 every month. You can get Pazukis as much as you want for free $99, Levi. So 1-0 pitch comes downstairs for ball number 2.
That's a really good deal. I can't believe you would offer that. Let me guess. You have bought the free Pazuki pass.
Levi, you hit it right on the head. I have indeed. And as the 2-0 pitch comes up high for ball number 3. I'm a man that loves value. I love good food. And guess what Pazukis all of a sudden have? They have both value and they are also really good. As the 3-0 pitch comes in, it's a fly ball towards right field, will go foul.
Yeah, Drew, speaking of free passes, there have been a lot of free passes issued by J.J. Gonzalez tonight. Already, we have seen 5 walks and a hit batter.
Jeez, man, what a transition, Levi. As the 3-1 pitch comes inside for ball number 4, and you were just
There's
talking
another
about the
one.
free passes, and you're right. That is another one.
Number 23,
It's going to be a walk. And I'll bring up Afwork, and Afwork reached on an absolute scorcher of a line drive right at the third baseman. It was ruled an E5 as the first offering comes in just high for ball number 1. But you couldn't hit it any harder than when Afwork hit it. So you got to feel confident stepping back into the plate with a chance here to plate 1, maybe 2. As the 1-0 pitch comes in, and it's a foul ball back for strike number 1.
Yeah, honestly, Afwork a little bit unlucky in the stat book at least, because if he had hit that ball, a few inches to the left or right, it probably goes down as a double. Instead, it goes down as an error. So it doesn't help his batting average.
As the 1-1 and a big swing and a miss for strike number 2.
But it was a great hit nonetheless. And you're right, he hits the ball hard all the time. One of a very small group of guys who've hit multiple home runs in the league this year.
As the 1-2 comes in there, a ground ball over towards the gap, and the outstretched arms of Emilio Feliciano will be unable to get it, so it will be a single for Isaiah Afwork. And now that'll bring up Jack Bergstrom. And Bergstrom flew out towards the shortstop last time up. And in a big spot here, the bases are juiced. And Bergstrom, Levi talked about him being sort of an underrated player. Hit 382 entering today's ball game, and he has a chance to plate a couple. The first pitch, a chopper over towards the third baseman. That will be ruled a foul ball.
Bergstrom, local guy out of TCC.
And Tacoma Community College, that's nothing to laugh at, I mean, that's a stepping stone, to say the least, for a lot of these guys. They start out at these community colleges, these kind of NAIA or, JUCO schools, and then some of them, might stay there as the 0-1 comes up high and outside, and that will get past the catcher, Declan Brown, and coming home to score will be Schnerman. Everyone will move up a base, and a frustrated Jojo Gonzalez is disgusted as he walks back towards the mound, and the Studs will plate another one up 5-0 now. Still runners on second and third. Nobody out here to Jack Bergstrom.
Bergstrom grew up in Federal Way, Washington, where he was named High School Male Athlete of the Year.
As the one comes in, a fly ball out towards shallow right field. Coming onto it is the right fielder who makes the sliding play for the out. A snow cone out number 1. A nice play over there by Peter Hollabaugh. And that ball looked to maybe have bounced on the turf, but will be ruled an out.
Second baseman.
And if that indeed was a catch,
Gallagher.
that was a very unfortunate circumstance for Bergstrom. A hell of a play out there by Hollabaugh in right.
Yeah, Hollabaugh saved his team a couple of runs there. Now the hope for Gonzalez is, can he keep it that way?
As the next pitch comes outside for ball number 1.
Don't let your teammates' efforts be in vain. That is what has to be going through the head right now of JoJo Gonzalez.
And
'Cause-
Gonzalez already kind of a blow-up outing, 5 earned runs, but there's an opportunity to make it even worse or to limit the damage here. As the next pitch comes in, it's a swing and a miss for strike number 1. Gallagher walked his last time up, playing second base today.
And it was one of those 4-pitch walks where every pitch was just way out.
As the 1-1 is downstairs for ball number 2. The 2 balls and 1 strike. And Gallagher's average doesn't really represent how valuable of a baseball player he is either. Takes a lot of walks. He's already taken 1 today. Makes sure to work the counts. As the 2-1 pitch comes outside for ball number 3, and he does not chase. Controls the strike zone, swings at his pitches, and unfortunate the swings just haven't been, quite up to his standard maybe, hitting below the Mendoza line, of course. But with the hitter's count here, he's definitely in a position to pick up a couple of RBIs with runners on second and third. The 3-1 is outside, so it'll be back-to-back walks issued to Jake Gallagher, and now that'll bring up the veteran, Drew Kamihara, and the bases are loaded. Kamihara flew out towards the shortstop to end the long bottom of the first inning, and is in a big spot here. Hitting from the left side of the plate. Gonzalez looks in, the offering. A swing and a miss for strike number 1. And no one you'd rather have succeed than Kamihara. Works super hard. A leader, plays center field, a veteran. As the 0-1 pitch comes in there. A line drive towards left field will be caught by the left fielder. A diving play coming back over to second base is Afwerk on the throw. He will be safe, but Kamihara hits that ball on a rope, but it's just a better play by the left fielder, Jack Varney. Oh my goodness gracious, Kamihara was robbed on that one, Levi.
Yeah, you got to feel for the kid there. Kamihara hit that ball well, right into, unfortunately, an amazing diving play. And that's 2 diving plays we've seen. So now JoJo Gonzalez, he has to get this out, or else he is going to feel really bad going back to the dugout.
As the next pitch is downstairs for ball number 1 here to Murishige. Murishige has batted in both the first and second inning, and now in the third.
Yeah, he's done the rare batting in all first of the 3 innings.
As the 1-0 comes in, a swing and a foul ball for strike number 1. Not only has he come in and hit in all 3 innings, he's taken a walk in both the first and second, so making to look at a trifecta of back-to-back-to-back walks, all in consecutive innings. That's got to be a rarity. As the 1-1 comes in, a line drive right field goes foul, so if the walk is going to happen, he's going to have to battle here. As the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. They got names in baseball, lots of fun names. You got the Golden Sombrero for 3 strikeouts, the Immaculate Inning for 9 pitches, but there's no name for back-to-back-to-back walks. What would that be called? Let's make it on the spot here. I'm going to think about it as the 1-2 pitch comes in. And that's a foul ball towards right field. We'll go foul. And we got some input from the booth here. The Devil's Threesome. Levi, how do you like that?
Drew, I kind of think this name could stick.
All right, well, we're going to run with it. The Devil's Threesome. Makata Murishige looking to do the rare Back-to-back-to-back walks are now called the Devil's Threesome as the 1-2 pitch comes in, and that will be in there for strike number 3. So, unfortunately, no Devil's Threesome. Wah, wah, wah. We will go to the top of the 4th inning. The Studs have taken a commanding 5-0 lead, have plated 1, left 3 runners on. Going to the top of the 4th inning. Studs up 5-0. What did Aiden Dance and Jeremiah Crane do?
That was that double play.
Maybe.
Dance into the double play.
Okay.
And then
In the second.
yeah, second.
And then he didn't play in the 3rd. And Crane flew out. I've been muting and unmuting myself. Or you when you've been doing announcing a lot. Like for the most part, I've been trying to at least. Now batting for the Redmond Dudes, number 3, the left fielder, Jack Varney.
Well, we welcome you back. It's now the top of the 4th inning. Jack Varney getting things going for the Dudes as he takes the first pitch way outside. Varney flew out to center field back in the 1st inning. And this has been a very different game for the Dudes than it has been for the Studs offensively. The Studs already in the 3rd time through the lineup. Dudes just in the 2nd time. There's another way outside. Moberly hoping to settle in quick here. It's the 0-2 count. Next pitch, big swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there for Moberly. Count moves to 1-2. And the Dudes still looking for their first hit of the night. They've got a couple of walks. That's all the base runners they've had so far. This may be the 3rd walk. We'll see if Moberly can find the strike zone. It's a 3-1 count. And now the windup. And the 3-1 is laced into center field, giving chase Kamihara, and he's going to pull back. So instead of trying to go for the diving stop, Kamihara, he lays it up, and that is the first hit of the game for the Dudes.
Now batting number 9, the DH, Kahi Taruya.
Bring up Kahi Taruya, the designated hitter.
And Levi, that was some weak contact for the first hit for the Dudes.
Sometimes that's all it takes. It's the first ball again, sailing way outside.
You know, common phrase, especially in the major leagues. Something that can change the offense. A bloop and then a blast. And Taruya, we've seen blast before from him.
Yeah, we have seen blast before from Taruya, but you are not blasting that pitch. Again, way outside. It's 2-0. We've only seen the 1 strike so far this inning from Moberly. Uncharacteristic, to say the least, as their pickoff attempt is not in time. Yeah, Taruya had a big home run back in June in the 2nd leg of a doubleheader that the Dudes lost 11-7. But that's as close as they've come to beating this Studs team.
And quite frankly, that wasn't super close, to be honest with you. Back in the doubleheader, I always thought the Studs had that victory pretty locked up.
It was 11-2 at one point. I think his home run made it 11-3. There was a bit of a late inning rally, but it didn't save the Dudes. Now a 3-0 count, so Taruya, he struck out on a full count in his first at-bat when he led off the top of the 2nd inning. And now looking to draw that walk. Moberly's next pitch, and he hits it into the gap, left center field, again giving chase Kamihara. And, oh, wow, Aiden Dance calls him off. Then it's out of the glove. Dance's throw is coming into third base. Murashige takes it on the bounce. And so what should have been an easy out, that's going to be an error for Aiden Dance. And all of a sudden, there are runners at second and third with nobody out.
Yeah, you got to be careful here if you're Andrew Moberly. And talking to him will be the catcher, Jack Bergstrom. Look, your defense has made great plays all night long. And then one error here, you obviously you give up the hit to Jack Varney. Now all of a sudden runners are at second and third, nobody out. A big spot and kind of a grinding spot here for Moberly. The Studs are already up 5-0. This is a spot where you kind of got to limit the damage.
Yeah, you really do, as Peter Hollabaugh steps into the plate. Hollabaugh, the right fielder today, and we saw him make a really good play just an inning ago out there, a run-saving play. But you're right, Drew, down 5-0. This is your opportunity. It's early enough in the game that a big hit here, making it 5-2, maybe get another couple of runs, and you can really turn this thing into a ball game. 2 on, nobody out. Second pitch in, and it's inside, and again, he has been missing to the left side of the plate all inning. Now facing against a righty, those pitches are going to be inside. So it's 2-0 on Hollabaugh.
And sometimes, Levi, that was a really long bottom of the third inning despite just plating one. Maybe get a little restless, and he's been missing the zone to start the top of the fourth here.
Well, he gets the strike call there, and he badly needed it.
And Hollabaugh did not like that pitch. He kind of winced and leaned back. Thought that one was the ball, and it did look just a touch outside, but hey, Moberly will take it.
Peter Hollabaugh, the St. Martin's University outfielder. And he hits this one, deep left field. Again, a chance for Aiden Dance, and he does. He makes the catch. He redeems himself. Now the throw is way offline, and so tagging and scoring is going to be Jack Varney. Teruya making his way over to third. He tags as well, and it's now 5-1. The Dudes are on the board for the first time here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, that was just a nice piece of hitting for Hollabaugh. Not trying to do too much and moves over the runner from second to third, and also plates the first run for the Dudes. Now batting number 15, the center fielder, Will Sell.
So in steps Will Sell. He walked and stole a base back in the second. He was the first base runner of the game for the Dudes. Takes a big hack at that one. And a nice-looking breaking ball that dips into the lower half of the strike zone. So Will Sell will start off in an 0-1 hole.
And a sac fly, Levi, the ultimate kind of win-win scenario for both teams. Moberly gets his first out, but the Dudes also played a run.
Exactly. Doesn't hurt anyone's batting average. It does hurt Moberly's ERA, but you're right. He gets that out that he badly needed.
And if Moberly ends this game 6-inning pitch, for example, 2 earned runs, that's still a great outing. He's got to limit the damage here and one step closer with that sac fly.
Here's the 0-2 to Sell, and it sails over his head. That'll be a wild pitch. And again, here comes the run. So Kahi Teruya now taking advantage of another mistake. He scores on the wild pitch, and it's now 5-2. The Dudes are now within 3. Will Sell on a 1-2 count. Moberly had a chance to nag him on a strikeout, but instead, it's a wild pitch. Now here's the stretch. Ground ball, third base. Murashige picks it up. The throw to first. It is in time to make the play, and that will be out number 2.
Yeah, Murashige flashes the leather once again. So good over there at the hot corner. Those plays, not easy, but he's making them look easy.
2 outs, nobody on now for Emilio Feliciano.
Now batting number 74, Emilio Feliciano.
Feliciano, the righty from California, down in San Mateo. Moberly's first pitch, and again, sailing over his head. We've seen probably, 8 or 9 pitches that have missed high and to the left side of the plate.
Yeah, Feliciano was subject to that his last time up.
And there's a knock, and it's snagged by the second baseman. Great play there from Gallagher, and that will do it. Gallagher just leapt up at that line drive, saved a potential base hit, robbing Feliciano. What a play from Gallagher. And that will end the top of the fourth, but the Dudes, they do get on the board. They score their first two. It's now the Studs 5 and the Dudes 2. We'll be right back with you after a quick break. It's Aiden Dance. He'll be leading off the bottom of the inning.
For the Redmond Dudes, pitching number 10, Kai Takamanu. And batting for the Seattle Cheney Studs, the left fielder, number 7, Aiden Dance.
We welcome you back to the bottom of the fourth inning here at UPS, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Dudes, who will face off against Aiden Dance. First pitch from Kai Takamanu is way outside for ball one. We're not sure if this is exactly the right pronunciation. Kai Takamanu, that's what we got.
Fake it till you make it, Levi. That's what I say.
I'm looking for information on Kai Takamanu right now, and Drew, the internet has nothing. Here's the 2-0, and it's in there for a strike, called strike one.
Well, I can tell you what I've seen so far, Levi. He's a lefty pitcher, has at least the fastball and the changeup. That's the two pitches we've seen. The fastball seems to have some run to it and some nice velo.
As there's ball three. So Jojo Gonzalez, his day is done. He allows 5 earned runs. Didn't do too well. There's a pop-up infield. And it looks like making the call is the shortstop. And making the catch is Emilio Feliciano for out number 1.
Now batting number 14, Jeremiah Crane.
So that'll bring up Crane, the big hitter, after the shallow pop-up. First pitch to Crane, he takes it foul. Crane's flown out twice, flew out to center, then he flew out to right in the first and second innings, respectively. Yeah, not a great day, as I was saying, for Jojo Gonzalez. He allows 5 runs, only the 3 hits, but he walked 5, and he hit a batter, and he only struck out 1. As there's a called strike, so it's a 1-1 count on, or excuse me, a ball. So it's a 1-1 count on Crane. And there's another ball, misses low, outside.
And the crazy thing, Levi, is that Gonzalez's day could have been a lot worse. He, the
It
Studs,
absolutely could have.
The Studs left the bases loaded once. There was a couple other opportunities they missed.
There was 2 diving stops by his left and right fielder. Both of those could have resulted in multiple runs being scored. And then you're right, that bases left loaded in the third. So the Studs left some runs on the board. The Dudes protected some runs, and still, JoJo Gonzalez, not a great afternoon. It's still a 2-2 count after a couple of foul balls from the bat of Crane, who is looking for his first hit today. For a guy with a 1.059 OPS, he's one dotting it, but against the Dudes, he's been held pretty well. Only 1 for 7 against the Dudes, and that'll make it 1 for 8. The ground ball to Feliciano, who makes the play.
And Jeremiah Crane rolled over to the shortstop and was clearly frustrated. Levi flipped his bat as he ran over there.
Now batting the DH number 35, Ben Schnerman.
And did you just hear that, Levi? Crane was yelling on his way over to the dugout. Absolutely screaming. Maybe a little too intense for him.
Yeah, and sometimes, Drew, it just pays to remember that it's just a game. It's just a game, and the bottom line is this game doesn't even truly matter. You know, the Studs have already locked up the 1 seed in the league. And for Jeremiah Crane, he's got the individual numbers that he doesn't really need to worry about his own batting average. You know, an 0 for 3 night, he can get over that. There's a ground ball to Feliciano, who makes the play. So Feliciano was doing it all this inning for the Dudes. He catches the pop-up off of the bat of Aiden Dance, and then ground balls from Crane and Schnerman, and a quick 1-2-3 inning from Takamanu. That will do it for the Studs here in the fourth. It's still the Studs 5 and the Dudes 2.
Was that a ground?
We welcome you back. It is the top half of the 5th inning, and the Studs bringing out a new guy on the bump. It's Cody Aiden, the player coach, son of manager Barry Aiden. Cody is on the bump, and that will do it for the night of Andrew Moberly. Moberly had a great performance today. He allows the 2 runs off of just 1 hit. He does leave a couple guys on base. 1 error, unfortunately. He struck out 5, walked just 2. Allowed 1 stolen base, so ultimately a good night for Moberly. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 hit, and 2 runs allowed. He leaves with a 5-2 lead and puts himself in position for the win.
Yeah,
and now it'll be Cody Aiden taking over.
A great night for Moberly. He was dealing all game long, had some control issues there in the 4th inning, which is probably why Cody Aiden's out there, but other than that, he was lights out.
And the first pitch from Aiden to Jim O'Brien is called for strike 1. Jim O'Brien walked on 5 pitches, back in the third inning. He led off that third inning and was left stranded as he takes ball one there.
And you talk about father-son duos, Cody Aiden and Barry Aiden, of course. Well, shout out to Eric Moberly, Andrew Moberly's dad, who was listening in. He had piqued his interest about the Pazuki deal, Levi.
Really? As there's strike two.
Well, I saw your face when I was telling that story. Maybe you weren't as interested as me, but hey, this shows that someone out there is. $4.99 every month. Go to the BJ's app. We should get sponsored, really.
As there's another big swing and a miss, and that sets down O'Brien. So a quick first strikeout from Cody Aiden. First out of the inning.
Now batting the third baseman, number 77, Rory Swanson.
Here comes the third baseman, Rory Swanson. He struck out in the third.
Yeah, and just for comparison, I mean, every single player for the Studs has had at least 2 plate appearances. Some have had 3, and this is just the second for Swanson.
There's a called strike to Swanson and Drew. Let's continue that Pazuki deal just in case anybody
Oh,
missed it.
goodness gracious. What do you want to know about it, Levi? I mean, I feel like if I say Pazuki any more times on the stream, no one's gonna listen to us.
So you said $4.99,
Correct.
and then after that they're all free,
$4.99 each month.
and that's just for the summer.
That was the deal. That was the promotion. I've already used it twice.
Well, that is a pretty good deal. So for any of you who's listening, as there's a fly ball center field, Kamihara giving chase. He's under it, and he makes the play for out number 2.
Wow. Yeah, how is he doing?
Bring up Declan Brown, the catcher, leading off. Declan Brown is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Declan Brown.
First pitch is low, outside for ball 1.
Yeah, we've seen Brown had a really productive day up in Seattle at UW Ballpark just a week ago, but now he is 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks, like you mentioned. He does play the catcher position, has had a pretty good day behind the plate for the most part.
Yeah, I've been much more impressed by Brown today than I was on Friday night. There's a pop-up, and it's just barely out of the glove of Jack Bergstrom. They're going to call that one a foul ball.
And
I
Bergstrom's
believe.
lucky. That could have been called a fair ball very easily. That ball seemed to bounce right on the white line. But, you know, although from an audience perspective, it's so easy to point the finger at Bergstrom and blame him in that position. But in reality, that play, Levi, is so tough. The sun is still, so high in the sky right above the ballpark right now. And that ball that's hit directly up in the air is so hard to practice.
Yeah.
From, just a fungo, for example. That ball is looping up, and then it kind of comes down and lassos around. And it causes the catcher to kind of try to backpedal and make a play on the ball last second, and that's what happened to Bergstrom.
So here's the 2-1 on the way. Hard hit ball, deep left field line, and that is not going to be in play for for Aiden Dance. Dance's throw is going to come in, cut off by nobody, over the head of Crane. It's a 2-out double off the bat of Declan Brown. That was a great piece of hitting from Brown. He took it the other way, down into the left field corner. Aiden Dance had no chance at that one.
Yeah, and of course we mentioned how Declan Brown's having a tough night, and what does he do? He comes back and responds with a huge double. Now there's a runner in scoring position. This game by no means even close to over. It's a 3-run ball game, runner on second.
First pitch to Kamada, sails inside, ball 1. No, they call it a strike.
Yeah, I mean, this home plate umpire today, it's been a little all over the place. Pitches that seem to be balls have been called strikes and vice versa.
Yeah, I
But
could agree
it's
with
been for
that.
both teams.
That one is another strike. So Kamada in an early hole Kylan Kamada out of Pierce College. His dad inspired him to play baseball ever since he was 3 years old.
Wow, what a wholesome story. That's got to be the most common reason to start playing baseball, though. You got to think.
Yeah. A lot of dads very invested in their kid's career. He also says his motivation is being able to look at his past self and know that he's 10 times better. Wow, that's some serious self-confidence there from Kai Kamada. He also enjoys the beach and surfing.
Wow, Levi, you just got a whole portfolio on this guy.
As there's a ground ball, and that's going to be just foul. Almost a really clutch piece of hitting there because Makana Murashige was not going to get to that, but it's down the third base line and foul. And he did talk about being 10 times better. Well, maybe he deserves to say that. He's had a solid career over at Pierce College as a pitcher with a 2.85 ERA in 53 innings pitched. As he chops this one right field, a little bit of a blooper, but it is caught on the run by Afewerk. Great job by Isaiah Afewerk getting to that ball, and that will do it for the Dudes here in the fifth. It's still the Studs 5 and the Dudes 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you for the bottom half of the inning. Welcome back. It's the bottom of the fifth inning. Logan Shepard will get things started for the Studs.
Now batting number 6.
Kai
first baseman,
Takamanu remains on the mound.
Shepard.
Shep with a double and a walk, an RBI, a run scored. He's done it all today.
He had himself a great day, Levi. Facing the lefty here as a right-handed hitter should be a good matchup.
Well, he takes strike one on the outside of the plate. And there's a ball that's hit well, but foul down the third base line. So an early 0-2 hole for Logan Shepard. Takamanu's next pitch, and it's in there. Popped it up into shallow center field. Coming in is Will Sell, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting right fielder number 23, Isaiah Afewerk.
Afewerk stands in the box tall. 6'3", would you say, Drew?
Yeah, 6'3", 6'4". I mean, we've been giving him a couple of interviews now. I've interviewed him twice. Such a cool guy. Always says hi to me as we enter the ballpark.
It's a great interview as well.
Oh, yeah, so much fun. And, you know, if you guys want to go listen to it at Seattle Cheney Studs on YouTube, there's a nice interview there. And he was talking about how he was playing a song in his head the entire game against the Gumbaroos, and he went 3 for 3, and he talked about how he was able to calm down, kind of just let the baseball game come to him, not worry about things too much. He plays with so much freedom, so much joy, love for the game, and it really shows out there in the baseball diamond. He plays a great right field, can hit, can run, a true five-tool player.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And yeah, sometimes, as you said, sometimes a great song is just in your head and it just makes everything better. As there's a ground ball again, chopped foul, third base side, so it's still a full count, 3-2. Drew, you got any songs that are stuck in your head right now?
I thought you never asked, Levi. Well, I mean, there was a couple songs. One of my cousin, shout out to Julian, he is an elite level piano player. And there's this song stuck in my head. I'm not sure what the name of it is.
As Affelwork draws the walk, and he was quick to start running, as he could have maybe been a check swing.
Now
But it's not.
batting number 5, Jack Bergstrom.
So Bergstrom with a runner on, and as you were saying, Drew, so Drew, as you were saying about that song,
Oh, okay, yes, of course. The first pitch.
that's going to be a called strike.
It's the song. It's like. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
of course.
yes.
And there's another song also that I'll get after
Yeah,
this
there's
one.
a ground ball up the middle, picked up by Will Sell out there in center field, and so Bergstrom's on with a base hit.
Yeah, a nice piece of hitting. Bergstrom kind of just throws his bat out there at the changeup, and he's rewarded.
It's Gallagher.
Now batting number 18, Jake Gallagher.
See what Gallagher can do here. He's drawn a couple of walks, so maybe he's going for that Devil's threesome.
The Devil's Threesome, so elusive. I was going to mention another song stuck in my head, kind of reminiscent of what Apwork was talking about. The best test I've ever taken, Levi, a 4 on AP U.S. history. Still proud of it to this day. And guess what song was stuck in my head the entire 3-hour test?
I don't know what song, Drew, as Gallagher fouls off his second straight pitch to the left side, or excuse me, to the right side, so it's 0-2.
It was so random. From the Aristocrats. Everybody wants to be a cat.
Wow.
And everybody wants to be a cat right here. But Gallagher trying to be a dog.
And Affelwork trying to be a dog as well. He steals third. The throw is behind the plate, and now scoring on the wild throw is Isaiah Affelwork. So how about that? You could call that a very smooth transition from Affelwork. How about it? Isaiah Affelwork with that speed. He is one of many players on this team who can basically steal a base, it feels like, whenever he wants. Bergstrom stands in at third, and it's now the Studs 6, the Dudes 2. Now the 1-2, and it's outside for ball 2, so an even count at 2-2.
And Gallagher, like you mentioned, picked up a couple of walks, but he does not want to walk here. He wants to get a base hit and pick up an RBI while he's at it.
And that ball is low, and it's again going to be ball 3, so a full count. This is the first full count of the day for Gallagher. He walked on a 3-0 count in the first. Then he walked on a 3-1 count in the third.
So good at working counts, and Gallagher one pitch away from making it 3 straight walks.
And there it is. It's the Devil's, what do we call it? The Devil's threesome.
Devil's. It sounds like it should be part of something else, if you know what I mean. But we'll give it a baseball name, and there you go.
Now batting the center fielder number 4, Drew Kamihara.
So here comes Kamihara to the plate. He's flown out a couple times, and there's the fake throw. And it's Jake Gallagher who's in with a successful stolen base.
And Gallagher did the same thing when he stole second. He put his hand to his helmet and did like a little wave with his hand as he motioned towards the dugout. I gotta ask post-game what that's about, Levi.
As there's another one, another ball. So 2-0, and all of a sudden, after a really strong start to the at-bat against Gallagher, Takamuna is kind of losing his control right now. He's thrown, I believe, 6 balls in a row. And that one's going to be in there for a strike. Bit of a hanging curveball, it looked like, and maybe Kamihara should have taken a hack at it, but instead he watches it for strike 1.
Yeah, but a 2-0 count. That ball started his head. I think it's a good take.
I'll take that one as well, and another called strike. So all of a sudden, maybe Takamuna has found something. Excuse me, Takamanu has found something here.
Yeah, as a 2-1 count, the curveball, the same pitch as last time. Kamihara has to blast that.
And the 2-2, he fouls behind home plate. Still 2-2.
Kamihara, a great 9-hole hitter. He gets on base. He's fast. He can put the ball in play. And with just 1 out here, runners on second and third, a chance to score a run.
He taps it foul again down the right field line, so still 2-2.
That was elite bat-to-ball skills. That ball was about 8 inches off the plate and down low, and Kamihara able to keep his eye on the ball, stretch out his arms, and just get a piece of that contact.
There's the 2-2 again. This time he taps it into right field, and that's going to drop in for a bloop single. Coming in and scoring is Bergstrom, and it's an RBI single for Drew Kamihara, and I think he sure deserved that one.
Now batting number 8, the third baseman, Makana Murishige. Now that feels great for Kamihara. You know, you get robbed maybe by the great play in left field last inning by Jack Varney, and then you get the bloop. So you hit the ball really hard, it's an out, and then you just bloop it over the second baseman's head, and it's a hit. Baseball, am I right?
And I would watch for the steal here, and instead it's a first pitch, hard line drive, and that's going to be a double play, it looks like.
But the umpires seem to maybe
Are
have
they
called
calling
time.
that what are they? I guess they're saying it's an infield fly, I believe, is what the call is.
No, Murishige is stepping back in there.
I don't know what just happened.
I mean, we're meant to have all the answers up here in the broadcast booth, and I am more lost than my mom is without Google Maps in the middle of Italy, I tell you. Well, runners are on second and third. Or, no, 1 runner scores. What is happening? Chaos.
So we'll tell you what we know as that ball sails in for a foul ball. So what appears to me is that the umpire called time, but the runners both stole, and I guess Jake Gallagher scored. Drew Kamihara now at second.
The only thing I can think of is a balk,
Was
maybe.
it a balk? It could have been.
Because
Maybe
both
it was
runners
a balk.
moved up. Whatever happened, the dudes did not protest it whatsoever. They're
No.
all just playing like nothing happened.
So it is now 8. We're going to update the scoreboard for you. It is now 8-2, and we have a runner on second, and that is, yeah, it's a 1-1 count. Still just 1 out for Murashige. As there's a foul ball.
I mean, we must have
1
missed
and
something
2.
because there are 10 players on the field, and we have just gotten word that Levi, our
was a
assumption
balk.
was correct. Balk. I think that's the best name in all of baseball, the balk. Super fun to say. It's like a walk, but with a B. It's crazy.
So it's not going to count as a stolen base. It'll count as a balk. Count is now even up at 2-2. Studs with a 6-run lead, and they have a chance to make it even more. And speaking of teams that are up big, your Seattle Mariners scoring 4 runs in the first inning. How about that, Drew?
Wow, that is surprising. I mean, to say the least. I know the Mariners have kind of started to heat up. You know, they had a nice game. Game 1 in San Diego. Game 2 was a little more sluggish, put up a couple of runs. But good for them. You would love to see them getting hot into the All-Star break.
And there's a line drive foul. So Murashige continuing to battle. It's still a 2-2 count. Still just the 1 out here. Kamihara standing on at second base. The Studs have played at 3. Athelwork scored on a throwing error. Jack Bergstrom scored on a single. And then Jake Gallagher scored on a balk. As there's a fly ball deep center field, but getting under it is Will Sell, and he makes the catch. And holding is Kamihara. So Kamihara will remain on second.
Yeah, no need to do anything too fancy there. You're still in scoring position. 2 outs now, so you still probably score with a single to the outfield. Now batting number 7, the left fielder, Aiden Dance.
So Aiden Dance comes into the plate, and Drew, speaking of songs that are stuck in your head, his walk-up song was stuck in my head earlier today.
What was it, Levi? As you know, they can't hear what the walk-up songs are, obviously.
You know, I actually couldn't tell you what the name of that one is either, but do you want to sing it for us, Drew?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, as there's a pop-up left field. And now it looks like Sell's going to call off the left fielder. He makes the catch himself, and that will do it. So the Studs, they take advantage of some sloppy defense and a balk by the pitcher. It's a 3-run inning for the Studs, who now lead it 8-2. They scored 3 runs off of just the 2 hits, but they leave 1 guy on base. It's the Studs 8, the Dudes 2. We'll be back for you with the 6th inning coming up right next.
Now batting for the Redmond Dudes, number 3, the left fielder, Jack Varney.
So Jack Varney checking in to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today with a run scored, a single, and a fly ball to center field back in the first. As he leads off the 6th inning, and he watches strike 1. Cody Aiden pitched a pretty strong top of the 5th. Struck out 1, allowed just the 1 hit. As there's a ball that's low.
And talk about just dumping it into the strike zone. Cody Aiden did that all last inning. Something that Tegan Aiden couldn't do a few days ago. Not to compare the brothers, but
That one's going to be in there for, it looked like a strike to me, but the umpire is not going to give it to him. Maybe that was a little bit high. That's my best judgment on that. It's 2-1 to Teruria's on deck. 2-1 to Varney. And now it is 3-1 to Varney.
oh, that changeup looked like it floated and scraped the top of the strike zone. But
Yeah,
will go
it
down as a
sure
ball.
looked like it was in the zone, but, you know, the home plate umpire, he's been giving inside calls tonight. He has not been giving the outside of the plate. There's a ground ball picked up by Shepard at first. The throw over to Aiden, who makes the play at first base. So a 3-1. And Cody Aiden, he just about wasn't there in time, but he bolted over there as fast as he could to make that play.
Batting number 9, the DH Kahi Taruya.
So Taruya now stands in with 1 out, nobody on base. Kahi Taruya is 0 for 1. He reached on an error. He hit that fly ball into left field. And there's a line drive center field, and Kamihara picking it up on the run. So first pitch first pitch to
Now
Ruya
batting
was
number 5, the right
swinging
fielder,
hard.
Peter Hollabaugh.
And a bit of an unlucky scenario there because Taruya he hit that ball really hard. Great contact, but Drew Kamihara was right there. And again, his speed, his agility out there allows him to make all of those plays. And he made that one look easy. I don't think that was an easy play out there. It sure looked easy the way Kamihara just sailed right to it. The first pitch to Hollabaugh is outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Kamihara makes everything look easy. Maybe the best defensive player for the Studs. So sure-handed out there in center.
There's a fly ball deep left. Aiden Dance giving chase at the track, and he makes the catch. And that will do it. A very quick 1-2-3 inning for Cody Aiden. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We'll see you in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is still 8-2. The Studs on top of the Redmond Dudes.
Now pitching for the Redmond Dudes, number 1, Yuki O.
So another new pitcher on the mound for the Dudes. It is Yuki O. And unfortunately, once again, we cannot find anything about this guy on the internet. Does he even exist? Is he even real? I guess he is. He's on the mound right now.
Now batting for the Seattle Cheney Studs, number 14.
Jeremiah Crane, dude.
Number 14, Jeremiah Crane.
He's got the home plate umpire wiping off home plate. Jeremiah Crane stepping into the box.
And I'm very interested to see what Crane does here. He is 0 for 3 on the day, and on his last ground out to the shortstop, he threw his bat in disgust. Barry Aiden had to give him a talking to.
First pitch, pops it up, out of play, and yeah, unable to make the play is the first baseman.
And Barry Aiden, they had a nice little chat. You know, definitely some stern words, but it ended with a nice hug, a pat on the back. And it just shows you how good of a coach Barry Aiden is. He's able to give feedback to players. Look, that was not okay. You're not allowed to just yell and scream in the dugout, but you're still a great baseball player. Go out there and make a hit.
Yuki O's next pitch is low in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 is the count. And so Kai Takamanu, his day ends. Looks like he allowed 3 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Didn't strike out anybody, and he walked 2.
And a balk.
And a balk. You're right. There's another foul ball, so it's a 1-2 count. And I imagine, Drew, if Jeremiah Crane goes down swinging here, he will not be a happy man.
Yeah, we'll have to see just how much Barry Aiden's talk really did to him, if that does happen. But he's battling right now.
He is. He's battling. He's staying alive. And we're seeing just how good of a ball player this kid can be. Obviously, we haven't seen the results tonight, but Jeremiah Crane is one of the best players in the Pacific International League.
Yeah, he's going to Santa Clara next year, D1 college. We'll see how he fares down in California.
Yuki's next pitch, and there it is, the swing and the miss, and they're going to tag him, and he's trying to say it was a foul ball, and they're saying he is out.
Well, they're going to have to discuss this one. Crane was motioning to being a foul tip, but from up here, obviously a Studs broadcaster through and through, but it seemed like it didn't hit his bat. But after a talk, and it looks like Crane will continue the battle.
There you go. Jeremiah Crane stays alive on a foul tip. Yeah, Jeremiah Crane transferring from TCC over to Santa Clara, and he has earned it. His stats at TCC have been impressive to say the least on the season. He was a .323 hitter as he chops this one over to the first base line, and Yuki O makes it to the base just in time to make the play. So it's an 0 for 4 day for Crane. But on the season with TCC, Crane hit .323, 10 stolen bases, 4 home runs, 4 triples, and 10 doubles.
And Crane once more is yelling in the dugout.
Now batting number 35, the DH Ben Schnerman.
So here's Ben Schnerman with nobody on, 1 out. First pitch to Schnerman. Sails in for strike 1. A called first strike to Schnerman.
And look down the third base line, Levi. Look who's walking away. His hands in his hair. He's stomping away is Crane. At least he's going somewhere else. He slams the gate over there.
Why don't we focus on the field, Drew? There's inside for a ball. Yeah, there it is. Ball 1.
And it means baseball's a tough sport, Levi. It really is. I just finished a round of golf, and it's very similar in some ways. Sometimes you can be a great player, and things just kind of aren't bouncing your way, and that's baseball. You got to be able to battle back, keep it moving, and a guy like Sherman has been so good at that. He's had a few 0 for appearances. In the very next game, he battles back and goes 3 for 4, 4 for 4, a few walks, etc. Sherman is just the perfect example of sometimes he hits the ball hard, it's an out, and that's okay. It's all about the process, about getting better, and Schnerman, a perfect example of that.
Schnerman hits the next pitch, sky high. It's going to be out of play, and it is, not catchable for the right fielder. So it'll be strike 2. It's a 1-2 count on Schnerman. And Ben Schnerman, he's had a good day today. He has a 2-run single in the first. Then he was hit by a pitch in the third and scored on a wild pitch. And then a hard ground ball to end the fourth. So he's 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch, 2 runs scored, 2 runs batted in. Picking up some counting stats today. The next pitch from Yuki O, and it's way outside for ball 2. 2-2 is the count on Schnerman.
Yukio, a very interesting windup. He has that left leg kick, and he pauses for 1/1000 and then delivers. Kind of a hesitation.
Reminds me a little bit of Johnny Cueto.
What a pull.
Yeah, Johnny Cueto, former big leaguer. Full count now. Yeah, Johnny Cueto, he was known for that little leg kick, and then he would try to throw off the batter's timing with that. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. We'll see if it works here for Yuki O. It does not. Schnerman picked it up, but he hits it just a little bit too late. It's a foul ball. So it's still a full count on Ben Schnerman, the RBI leader, the home run leader in the Pacific International League. Drew, it's been a while since we've seen a home run from the Studs. They've kind of gone on a little bit of a power outage. Schnerman's got 6 of them, though. And now he's rung up on the called strike, and he's not a fan of that call. We see a little bit of a head tilt. Neither am I, to be honest. That ball looked a little bit low.
Number 6, the first baseman, Logan Shepard.
It's always tough. I feel bad critiquing the umpire when we don't have the pitch cam like they do in the major leagues. But you see it happen in the big leagues all the time. The umpire will make a call, and then they'll show the pitch cam as there's a hard hit ball, but it's going to only probably be a single because it was right to the left fielder. Logan Shepard, yeah, he's in there with a single. And then with 2 outs, there's a runner on for Isaiah Afewerk. So here's Afewerk. Afewerk's had a nice day himself. He is 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Yuki looks in. First pitch to Afewerk. Up high. Ball 1.
Now batting number 23, Isaiah Afewerk.
And you're probably thinking, how is he only 1 for 1? Well, that's because his first plate appearance, he reached on an error. And then in his third plate appearance, he walked. There he takes a called strike, so it's 1-1.
Yeah, so it's been almost 2 full games now where Afewerk has not been recorded for an out. Went 3 for 3 on Tuesday against the Gumbaroos.
And now runner goes, and it hits Afewerk in the shoulder. So the steal doesn't end up mattering because it's a hit by pitch. And that puts 2 on. 2 outs for Jack Bergstrom.
Now batting number 5, the catcher Jack Bergstrom.
And you're right, Drew. That's now, I believe, 7 plate appearances in a row for Isaiah Afewerk that he has not been out. We saw Schnerman go 10 plate appearances earlier in the season, a 10 straight getting on base. Now Afewerk with 7 in a row. That's impressive stuff as the first pitch to Bergstrom is outside for ball 1.
Yeah, it really is. Consistency, consistently putting the ball in play, taking your balls, taking your walks. Good stuff.
Next pitch is low for strike 1. And yeah, and like you said, he did get helped out by that error, but he did help himself with that error. He hit the ball probably about 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Again, I wish we had that StatCast technology down here in the PIL. We could actually see some of those metrics, but it's really just about trying to put a number on it in our heads, gauging it. Next pitch was up high, so it's a ball 2. 2-1 to Bergstrom. Bergstrom is 1 for 3 tonight. Couple of flyouts and a single. He then stole a base. Then he went to third on a throwing error, and then he scored on a Kamihara RBI single. So he has the run now. He pops it up, and looks like that's going to be that Hollabach who makes the catch, and that will do it for the Studs. So no runs in this inning. No runs, 1 hit. They leave 2. It's still 8-2. Studs cruising so far.
Now pitching for the Seattle Cheney Studs, number 3, Nick Gibson.
Whoa, Mariners 5, Angels nothing, going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. I have to check.
Find anything on Gibson? Are you finding anything?
Finding stats.
3 is the number that seems to be changed Just like 21.
Welcome back to the stream. Hopefully you didn't miss much. Nick Gibson is the new pitcher on the mound. So far this season, a 1.5
Now batting
ERA,
number 15, the center fielder, Will Sell.
3 games, no games started. He's thrown 6 innings, 11 strikeouts, and he has allowed just 1 run. So he's had a nice start to the season, to say the least.
Yeah, Gibson, a tall lefty, has some nice reach on that fastball. Let's see if he can control the zone here. As the
Will Sell
studs-
is awaiting, and it looks like the umpire's having a conversation with somebody over there. Not exactly sure what's happening, but now they are getting ready to go. Will Sell steps in. Nick Gibson, who attends Central Arizona College. He gets set and ready. And the first pitch is up high for ball 1.
Yeah, Central Arizona College. You know, not a D1 school by any means, but a good program over there.
There's a called strike. You want to give us his stats, Drew?
Yeah, over there at Central Arizona College, he hit, but he also pitched. And as a pitcher, he made 14 appearances through 19 innings.
It's a foul ball.
Gave up 12 hits, had an ERA of 5.21, so kind of struggled, but he did have a K9 of 12.3, so he can really sit down batters, but a whip of just 1.42.
And we have seen that with the studs as well. 11 strikeouts in just 6 innings so far, so he is definitely what you'd call a strikeout pitcher. He's got a chance for his first strikeout right now in a 2-2 count. We'll see if he gets Will Sell. He does not. It's a ground ball picked up. No, Gallagher off the glove. He boots it, and that's going to be an error. Gallagher had his chance, but instead it is an error. And so Will Sell's going to be on base. It's a leadoff base runner for the Dews.
Yeah, that was a very gettable ball by Gallagher. Unfortunately, kind of just skipped off his glove. It happens from time to time, but now Nick Gibson's going to have to battle, and it's a pickle.
And now the errant throw, and Gibson's going to be in there with a stolen base. So Will Sell, how about that?
Now batting number 74, Emilio Feliciano.
When you're in a pickle,
Yeah.
the defense has the advantage. 9 times out of 10, the defense has the advantage. What you cannot do is let the ball sail. And that's exactly what happened. So here's Feliciano now with a runner on second, nobody out. First pitch, chopper, picked up by Crane. The throw to first in time to make the play. And we're seeing that side arm throw from Crane. He looks like a very comfortable defensive shortstop out there.
Yeah, he does. He plays a great shortstop out there. Makes it look easy.
So Will Sell, he moves over to third.
You know what move I think of every time I think of a pickle, Levi?
What do you think of, Drew?
Oh, that ran inside.
Wow. Hit batter. So he hits Jim O'Brien. And maybe not. I guess they're saying it hit the bat. So it's going to be a foul ball, and that's a pretty big break there from Nick Gibson.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate if you're O'Brien.
And now it hits.
2 for the price of 1. Gibson gets O'Brien twice. There must be some bad blood between those two guys. Just kidding, of course, but.
Drew, look it up. Does Jim O'Brien come from Arizona?
Now batting number 77, Rory Swanson.
I looked it up. I'll get to you right now, but yeah, whenever I think of a pickle, I think of the Sandlot and Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Always being able to avoid getting caught in a pickle. Always is safe.
First pitch sails in for strike 1. Yes, Benny the Jet. He was a true menace on the base paths.
Oh yeah, the best has ever done it.
Some would say.
Jim O'Brien goes to UPS actually.
Okay, so no previous connection, I can assume, between the pitcher and Jim O'Brien. either way, Nick Gibson's got himself in a comfortable spot right here. It's 0-2 to Rory Swanson. Swanson already has 1 strikeout today. He also has a fly out to center field. He's 0 for 2. There's a ground ball, foul down the first base line. A hard hit ball.
Yeah, and with 1 out here, you're down in an 0-2 hole, and you're also down on the scoreboard 8-2.
Yeah.
You got to look at the positives. You got runners on the corners, and on deck is your leadoff hitter who just had a double, Declan Brown. Got to find a way to get on base.
But there's the called strike, so rung up on strikes. Rory Swanson goes down looking, and that's a big second out for Nick Gibson. Now come to the plate. You're right, it's Declan Brown, 1 for 3.
Declan Brown. Yeah, that
1
is
for 3, but with a double in his last at bat.
You cannot allow that. You know, you're battling, you're a 2-strike count, and you watch a fastball down Main Street. What else are you looking for?
Declan Brown, that one sails dangerously close to hitting his elbow on the inside of the inside of the plate. So it's a 1-0. And Declan Brown, we'll see, he needs to redeem himself because a couple innings ago we saw him throw the ball way over his third baseman's head. That allowed a run to score. We'll see if he can redeem himself now. It's 2-0 in a very hitter-friendly count for the guy who is maybe arguably the best hitter on this team. Gibson, the stretch, the 2-0. And it's up high for ball 3. So now Gibson is dangerously close to walking the bases loaded.
And that would bring up Kalen Kamada, who is 0 for 3 on the day. So maybe it wouldn't be a terrible strategy.
And that next pitch is inside, but called for a strike. So he gets the strike call on a 3-1. And of course, Declan Brown was not about to swing 3-0, and he hasn't seen any pitches near the zone. Now 3-1, and he gets him there swinging. So now all of a sudden, what was once a 3-0 count is now full. We'll see if Gibson can record his second strikeout of the day and work out of the jam. He takes a deep breath in on the mound. Brown tapping the plate. And Brown gets set. Runners take their leads. 2 outs, 2 on. The payoff pitch pops it up foul. So we'll have to do that one again. Declan Brown really wants it. He can cut this lead in half with one swing of the bat. Nick Gibson can end the inning with one pitch. Here it comes. The payoff pitch. Runner goes, and again foul behind home plate. Declan Brown is showing some great fight in him right now. Nick Gibson would love to set him down.
The pressure is building. The water slowly building. The pipe has to burst at some point. Let's see which way it goes.
And there it is, the called strike 3. So Nick Gibson with a couple of looking strikeouts. How about that? The tall reliever getting the job done. He leaves the runners at first and third. Nobody scores. It is still the Studs 8 and the Dudes 2.
What did Rory Swanson do?
What did Rory Swanson do? Rory Swanson struck out looking. We welcome you to the bottom of the 7th inning here at the University of Puget Sound. And it's a University of Puget Sound locker who just took the mound. It's Jack Holst.
For the Dudes, number 50, Jack Holst.
Jack Holst, a local kid, plays for the University of Puget Sound and now taking the mound for the Dudes. He'll face Jake Gallagher, who will lead off the bottom of the 7th. The Studs, of course, with a 6-run lead. They're in a very good position to grab another win. Today we are playing the full 9 innings.
Jake Gallagher.
And I know it can get confusing at times because sometimes they play 7, sometimes they play 9. Well, tonight it is 9.
Tonight it is 9, and because of it, Holst is going to get an opportunity. Holst, the right-handed pitcher, a fastball velo that's just in the mid-80s. He is 20 years of age, about to be 21 in August. Goes to UPS like you mentioned.
First pitch to Gallagher. It's inside for ball 1.
Graduated in 2022. Grew up in Englewood, and this is a new state. Mark it off your bingo card. Colorado.
As there's a fly ball deep right center field. Gallagher, and that is unable to be caught. Will Sell slid for it. Couldn't make the catch. Gallagher is in at third base. That is a stand-up triple. How about that? Jake Gallagher. That was a deep fly ball into the gap. Will Sell is slamming his glove on his knee. He wanted that. He almost got that. They are going to give it a base hit, so it is not going to be an error. It's a lead-off triple for Jake Gallagher, and that brings up Drew Kamihara.
What a piece of hitting. That ball hanging in the air for a while. Sell unable to make the play, but a good effort.
First pitch to Kamihara is way outside for ball 1. Kamihara already has an RBI today. He had an RBI single back in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. He was robbed of an RBI in the 3rd when he hit into a really hard hit ball right into right field. And it was right into the right fielder's glove. Peter Hollabaugh robbed him of an RBI. There's a ball outside, so 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out and a runner at third. That's Jake Gallagher. And Jake Gallagher, he has had himself a night. He had those 3 straight walks in the first, 3rd, and 5th inning, so he got that devil's threesome. Then he triples to lead off the 7th, so he has not been retired yet tonight.
Levi, you got to wonder.
And wow, a 5-pitch walk to Kamihara. That one was not even close.
A nice play by Declan Brown.
Yeah, Declan Brown, he saved a run there.
I was going to say, Levi, you got to wonder when, it's looking like we're going to be inevitably interviewing Jake Gallagher, if, a walk-off hit doesn't happen. Do we mention the Devil's threesome, or do we leave that out of the interview? I don't know. I'm on the fence about it.
I think, unless he knows what we're talking about, is Kamihara takes off, no throw, and that was a wise choice.
It's called an explanation, Levi.
Oh, so you want to explain to him the Devil's threesome and then ask him about it?
You could say. I mean, we're broadcasters. We could get creative with it. I don't know. Maybe we could,
we could
give it to him in a riddle or something.
That would be a unique way to do an interview, Drew.
It would.
Well, you're doing the interview today because, as you can see, I'm still in my lifeguard attire, so
You are.
I will not be doing that interview. I will be the filmer. So you can, spin it however you want.
All right. Yeah, you were rushing here from the pool. You were calling me as I was on my way back from the golf course. And
Next pitch, sails low and inside.
I was such a nice friend / broadcaster. I stopped at, the drugstore on the way here. I was, you know what? I'm going to get myself a refreshing drink. I saw, I can buy 2 for $4. You know what? I'm going to get one for my friend. And look what happens when I get here. You break my heart, Levi.
There's a pop-up, and it's caught by Murashige. Excuse me, what am I talking about?
Murashige popped up.
Murashige popped up. It is caught by
It's going to be Rory Swanson, the third
Rory
baseman.
Swanson, the third baseman.
Now batting number 7, Aiden Dance. You broke my heart, Levi, because I got you a nice cherry lime Alani. It's been recommended to me from some of my coworkers over there at Cheney Stadium. And what did you say? Pretty much that you didn't want it. I mean, you said it in a nice way. I'll give you that. But you took 2 sips. And these sips, folks, I don't even know if you want to classify them as sips. They were pretty much like dog licks. I'm not even sure. You barely touched it. It's not that bad.
Well, all I'll say, Drew, is I'm not a big energy drink guy, but I know you are. So
I was trying to hide it. I was trying to hide it that it wasn't an energy drink.
All right.
'Cause you're very entertaining. Honestly, I was trying to do it for the broadcast because you're a super entertaining guy when you got the caffeine.
Yeah, as there's another one low and in the dirt. No, I don't like to drink those caffeinated drinks. Just they don't do well with me. They make me all jittery and.
You drank 1 coffee and you were off the walls. You should have seen this guy. It would have made for a great broadcast.
I would have made for a crazy broadcast. As there's a 3-1 count now to Aiden Dance as he's looking to reach base for the second time tonight. He walked in the first inning. We'll see if he will do it again. This is his 5th plate appearance.
Yeah, and still searching for that first hit.
And there it is. So it's 2 walks on the evening for Aiden Dance. And the bases are now loaded up.
Oh, and look who's coming up. It's Jeremiah Crane. The redemption arc? Maybe.
This could be a huge redemption arc
Now
for
batting
Jeremiah
number 14,
Crane.
the shortstop, Jeremiah Crane.
Of course, Crane 0 for 4 tonight.
I love Crane's walk-up music. I think the best in the whole Studs lineup.
As he takes a big swing at that one. In the dirt, strike 1. Now, to his credit, he is 0 for 4, but Jeremiah Crane has hit the ball all 4 times. He has not struck out yet tonight. And a strikeout with the bases loaded would probably be a tough outcome for him.
Yeah.
As the next pitch, and again takes a big swing, and that one came out of the glove of your catcher.
Yeah, Crane's down early 0-2. He's in his head right now, and, we've seen him be upset, but to spit it in a different way, he's very passionate, and I've been looked at as a good thing.
And there's a ground ball. Right at Swanson. The throw to home is in time. The throw to first is not. It's a fielder's choice. Crane is going to be safe at first. And yeah, so that is out at the plate, unfortunately, is Jake Gallagher. So it'll be a 5-2 fielder's choice.
Now batting number 35, the DH Ben Schnurman.
Now Schnurman, he watches ball 1. Now Ben Schnurman, he has a huge chance here. He already leads the league in RBIs with 38. He has a chance to hit 40. If he gets a hit right here, likely he scores 2. And he wants it, but now he is down early in the count as well.
Yeah, and Schnurman, in one way to take the player of the game away from Jake Gallagher would be a blast here.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And he's swinging hard. Unable to make contact right now, though.
It's 1-2 to Schnurman. Schnurman today with a single, hit by pitch, ground ball, and a strikeout. Hoping to avoid another strikeout. And that wall is way outside, and here comes, that's Kamihara. He's going to score. And he scores on the wild pitch, and so it is now the Studs 9. The Dudes 2. The Studs are looking to make it to double digits. They are dangerously close to hitting double digits. Both runners also advanced, so that was a really bad wild pitch. I mean, you just can't have that if you are Holst.
Yeah, this game pretty much all but over now. But looking to continue to add on. A big spot for Schnurman.
And there's another wild pitch, and now scoring is Shepard. So forget Ben Schnurman reaching 40 runs batted in. That's off the board now, but it is 10-1. Back-to-back wild pitches. I mean, if you are the pitcher, how do you? One wild pitch is one thing, but how do you come back from that with back-to-back? I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, and as a catcher here, I think Declan Brown, this is a perfect opportunity to go out to your pitcher, have a chat. Brown will elect to not do so, though. But yeah, that's one way to get your pants dirty. Back-to-back wild pitches gives Kamihara and Aiden Dance a reason to throw that
And
in
that
the
pitch
wash
sails
tonight.
way inside, and that's going to be ball 4. So Ben Schnerman is on base, and now there are runners at the corners. And it'll be Logan Shepard at the plate. So I'm sorry, I said Logan Shepard scored. I was wrong. That was Aiden Dance who scored.
Now batting number 6, the first baseman, Logan Shepard.
And Schnerman now with a couple of walks today. First pitch of Shepard is in there for a called strike. 10-2 is your score. Studs are into double digits. They beat the Dudes 11-2 a couple weeks ago. There's a ground ball up the middle maybe, and now getting to it is Feliciano. The throw is not in time. Jeremiah Crane will score, and it's now 11-2. It's an infield single and an RBI single for Logan Shepard, he's had himself a night. That's his third hit of the evening. So maybe Logan Shepard is your player of the game, Drew. I don't know.
Now batting the right fielder, number 23, Isaiah Afewerk.
I will say it is always a good day when there are multiple candidates for player of the game. Logan Shepard, he is making his case right now. He is 3 for 4 with a double, 2 singles, a walk, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Gallagher does, but Afewerk, speaking of good days, he's had a pretty good one himself. He's got the single.
And now
couple
there's
walks.
another wild pitch. Both runners will advance. It's 1-1 is the count on Afewerk. And now Afewerk has an opportunity for a big hit. The game has already been blown wide open. But at this point, it's just about pouring it on, maybe getting your individual numbers just a little bit better. And yeah, Isaiah Afewerk has not been retired, right? We talked about that. And has not gotten out yet today. There's a called strike, too.
Yeah, this is make or break time for Jack Holst. You got to lock in for your personal stats, if anything.
And it hits him. So that's the second time he has been hit by a pitch tonight. Got a feel for Isaiah Afewerk. The dugout is yelling.
Well, Afewerk turned to the dugout, gave a little strongman pose, and he deserves it. Back-to-back hit by pitches.
In back-to-back innings.
Now batting the catcher, number 5, Jack Bergstrom.
So, Drew, we talked about the Devils threesome. 3 walks in a row. This is what Isaiah Afewerk has done. 3 straight innings. He walked in the 5th. He was hit in the 6th, and then he was hit again in the 7th. As Bergstrom, he's going to ground out to end the inning, so that will do it. But how about that? That line for Afewerk. 3 straight
What a
innings.
line.
Walk, hit by pitch, hit by pitch. That is the real Devils threesome because he's had to really wear it.
Yeah, I think if he has a third one, we got to call it like to Hell's and back or something because that would be ridiculous, but that's going to end it here.
So the Studs, they pour it on. They score 3 more. It's now 11-2. We'll see it in the 8th. It'll be Drew picking up the play-by-play. 2 more innings, and we'll see if the Dudes can just stop the bleeding. It is 11-2. We'll see you for a couple more. pitching for the Studs, number 26, Derek Hotzler.
Welcome back into the broadcast. I'm Jaraba taking over for Levi Coover, the play-by-play duties, and taking over on the bump is Derek Hotzler, the hard-throwing righty who hit 93 miles per hour for the first time in his career. Last time against the Dudes, he picked up the save in Seattle as the first pitch comes in, and it's in there for strike number one. Here in the the top of the eighth inning, it's the Studs up 11-2 over the Redmond Dudes.
Pinch hitting for the Dudes is number 12, Lucas Brennan.
And it'll be Lucas Brennan who steps in for his first time up for the Redmond Dudes, pitch hitting. The 0-2. A slider that ran off the plate for ball number one, but that had some serious horizontal movement. Started in the zone, moved right out of it. A good 0-2 pitch. Trying to get Brennan to chase. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looks in, gets the sign. The lay kick, the 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike number through the fastball right by him. And that will be out number one, and that'll bring up number 3, Jack Varney. So Varney is 1 for 3 on the day with a fly out to center, a single in the 4th and in the 6th. The rare 3-1 put out. Top of the 8th, Studs up 11-2. The pitch in there for strike number 1, grazes the bottom part of the strike zone. Hotzler looks in, gets the sign. The 0-1. Just outside for ball number 1. Levi, we had a great interview with Hotzler.
Yeah, we did, Drew. We really did.
Great insight over there by the color commentator, Levi Cooper.
Well, I thought you were leading me into something, and then you just kind of cut off.
Well, I was actually, someone was yelling over at the dugout as the 1-1 comes in downstairs for ball number 2. I believe that was Tegan Aiden who yelled, "Hey!" over towards my direction. I wanted to make sure nothing we were doing was wrong, which I don't think we were.
I don't think so either. But yeah, Hotzler, he let us know 91 miles an hour. He hit 91 a couple days ago in Seattle.
Ground ball over towards the shortstop. Crane fires over to first in time for out number 2. So it's a strikeout and a ground out here to start the top of the 8th inning. And Hotzler is rolling, and that'll bring up the big bat of Kaihi Taruya. Taruya is 0 for 3 on the day, so he's due for something.
Hitter number 9, Kaihi Taruya.
He lined out in the 6th, in the 4th. Looks like he reached on an error and scored and then struck out in the 2nd. The first offering fouled back for strike number 1. Hotzler, a super nice guy. The first thing that really comes to mind when I think of him after our interview is just how, happy he was after hitting 91 and picking up the win.
Yeah.
He was smiling ear to ear. All of the guys with him in the bullpen as the pitch comes outside for ball number 1. We're just laughing, cracking jokes, super happy for Hotzler, a great guy on the bump.
And it wasn't a PR for him as well. So his first time hitting 91. He's throwing really hard tonight. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe that's the reason why Tegan Aiden was yelling to the dugout.
That's the 1-1. A curveball is in there for strike number 2. Count
Great
to
pitch.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a really good pitch.
Yeah, nice pitch by Hotzler. He has a good pitch mix. He's got the curveball, the slider, and the fastball. Might even have a changeup in there as well. The trees have shown a shadow on most of the field now. The sun is starting to slowly creep away here in Tacoma as the 1-2 pitch comes in there. A swing and a miss for strike number 3. So it's a 1, 2, 3, top of the 8th, and Derek Hotzler leaves with a smile. And why shouldn't he? The Studs up 11-2. Don't go anywhere. The Studs looking to add on probably their last time up in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll be right back.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Dudes, it's number 88, Shane Buchanan.
I don't got much on Shane Buchanan. I got his SAT score though. Welcome back into the broadcast here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Shane Buchanan taking over on the hill for the Dudes, who have been cycling through pitchers here in the latter half of the game. Buchanan, not much information on him, but he's 6'1", a righty, $160. Went to Auburn Mountain View High School back in 2018, so he's an older guy at least.
Second baseman, number 18, Jake.
And now that'll bring up Jake Gallagher. And Levi, this might be the one that decides the player of the game, but it's a pop-up over towards right field. Coming under it is Hollabow, and he will make the play. And retired for the first time tonight will be Gallagher. So it's 1 pitch and 1 out, and now that'll bring up the center fielder, Drew Kamihara. Kamihara singled
Center fielder,
his last time up, I believe. Or actually, he lined out, flew out, singled in the 5th, and he walked his last time up and scored as the first pitch comes in, a swing and a miss for strike number 1.
Yeah, Kamihara's had a nice night. Couple of flyouts, scored a run batted in as well, stole a base.
The pitch in there for strike number 1. 0-2. Levi, it's been a great day for the Studs and a nice couple of weeks for Studs alums as the 0-2 pitch comes in. And that skips in for ball number 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Levi, it's another Levi. And more importantly, a Stud ex-player, Levi Jordan, who made it to the big leagues. Unfortunately, he was sent down. But what a story. Levi Jordan.
Yeah, Levi Jordan, local guy, came from Puyallup High School, played for the University of Washington, and he spent a long time in the Cincinnati Reds minor league system. He was called up a couple of weeks ago.
As the 1-2 pitch misses high for ball number 2.
So he got the call up to the Reds, played 7 games, just 11 plate appearances, 10 at-bats. He went 1 for 10, but that one hit was an RBI double, and then he scored on the next guy.
As a swing and a miss for strike number 3. Kamihara goes down swinging, and Makana Murishige will step in for his 6th plate appearance. He walked his first couple of times up, struck out in the 3rd, flew out in the 5th, and flew out in the 7th. So still searching for his first base hit is the 357 hitter Murishige. But it goes to show you, Levi, dreams really do come true. As the first pitch comes in and finds the strike zone for strike number 1. Look, you know, you might be playing for the Studs, who's a great team, but you might be going to a NAIA school. Your hopes are not diminished quite yet. And Levi Jordan, just work ethic, you know, a great guy. As the chopper goes over to the shortstop, it's going to be a tough play, and he's just going to eat it. And throwing his hands in the air is Shane Buchanan. Buchanan shaking his head out there. And not a super high effort play by Feliciano out there. I know Morishige is fast and it'll go down as an infield base hit, so good for Morishige. He picks up his first base hit of the night, but it definitely felt like there should have at least been a throw over to first as Buchanan offers the first pitch. This is the chopper over to third. It's going to be a tough play. The throw across is way up high. A nice stop by the first baseman O'Brien, but that will be back-to-back infield base hits, and that'll bring up Jeremiah Crane. And he's going to be loving this. He has one last opportunity to get himself a hit. Crane, 0 for 5 today.
0 for 5. He did score a run last inning, but you're right. He needs it here. You know, Drew, that was a really low-effort play over there from the third baseman, Rory Swanson. I thought he definitely could have made that play. It was kind of just a lazy throw. Wow, that was a lazy swing from Crane. But speaking of guys who aren't lazy, bring it back to Levi Jordan. We talked to John about Levi, and he tells us that just the most humble guy. He said if anyone's going to make it, he would want it to be him because he's the humblest guy who's ever made it to play baseball at that level. That's John's words, not ours, but John's known him since he was a kid.
Yeah, and he's played with Garrett Ringer, who unfortunately is injured and out for the season for the Studs for, you know, a few years as the 0-1 pitch comes in, and Crane swings on a pitch away again. Crane is some sort of lost out there on the plate right now. It'll be a pass ball, so runners move up to second and third, 0-2 now. But, yeah, I mean, Levi Jordan, you know, just hard-working guy. He goes up to the majors. He gets the minimum league contract of $456,000 a year, I believe it is now.
I think it's up to over $500,000 now, actually.
So great stuff financially for him, but also just a dream fulfilled. 0-2 here to Crane. The pitch. Ground ball over towards the third baseman, who snags it, throws over to first in time. So Crane's going to be 0 for 6 on the night. And Shane Buchanan works out of a couple of infield base hits. And that will do it here for the Studs. One more half inning of play in this one, and it will be Derek Hotzler to close things out for the Studs, who are up 11-2 going into the top of the ninth inning. Don't go anywhere. You want to see a Studs victory. We're going to give it to you right after this.
This is Dane.
66 is coming in. 66. Welcome back into
Your attention,
the
please. And now pinch
broadcast.
hitting for the Dudes is
Coming in for the Dudes is number 66, Dave Steiner, who bats from the right side. And Hotzler will stay out there for the ninth for the Studs. Studs up 11-2. The late kick in, the first offering, a curveball which curves right into the zone, but it's called a ball. 1-0. Steiner's going to be taken over for the right fielder, Peter Hollowell, as Hotzler looks in and gets the sign, the 1-0. In there for strike number 1, catches the bottom part of the plate. 1-1. Levi, if you're the opposing team, you're down 9 runs. How do you at least attempt to make the game somewhat interesting? We've seen the Blackfins do it against the Studs, but really every other team has been unable to do so as the next pitch comes in, fouled back. 1-2.
Take every at bat as you get it. Don't think about the big picture. When it's 11-2, it's easy to just be like, "Yep, we're down by 9. The game's over. We're just gonna toss it in. We're just throwing the towel and just, sleepwalk through the last 3 innings of this game." The Blackfins didn't do that. They've battled, they fought, they made it close.
As the 1-2 pitch comes in, strike called. Going down, looking, and picking up the K is Derek Hotzler. And that'll bring up Will Sells. Studs are 2 outs away from winning this thing here in Puget Sound Lager Stadium. The sun is golden here in Tacoma. Shade cascading on the field. Hotzler looking to continue a hot outing. The first pitch, a curveball which dances into the strike zone. 0-1. Hotzler shakes off a pitch, looks in, he likes this one. Waving his bat in the air is Sell. Hotzler looks in. The 0-1. That one just misses inside. That pitch had about 10 inches of horizontal movement, started up at the hip of Sell and then kind of steered left into the strike zone and just missed. Hotzler looks in, the 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike number 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Studs are looking to win this thing here in Tacoma, and up in Seattle, the Mariners are up big 11-0. Not in Seattle, but the Mariners are up. Cal Raleigh just homered, scored a couple of runs. A huge offensive output for the Mariners and also for the Studs. Both teams have scored 11 runs. The leg kick, the pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 3. 2 strikeouts. Hotzler, just a week ago, struck out the side in the 9th inning and is 1 K away from doing the same thing here. Looking to avoid the same fate is going to be the shortstop, Emilio Feliciano.
Shortstop, Emilio Feliciano.
The Studs are up 11-3. It's a blowout here in the 2-5-3. Hotzler looks in. The pitch. Swing and a miss for strike number 1. Studs up 11-2 here in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs. 0-1 here to Feliciano. The pitch. Strike down the heart of the plate. And the Seattle Cheney Studs are 1 strike away from winning this ball game. They would be 15-1 in their last 16 against Pacific International League foes. Hotzler looks in, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Studs up 9. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. 3 strikeouts for Hotzler in the 9th, and the Studs win this one. An 11-2 victory for the Seattle Cheney Studs. Hotzler strikes out the side in the top of the 9th inning.
The Studs, 11.
Way to be Derek Hotzler. So it was a complete game from, defense, hitting, pitching. All 3 aspects for the Studs was working today. Andrew Moberly had himself a day. His final line was, Levi?
Moberly. Oh, you're putting me on the spot here, Drew. Moberly went 4 innings. He allowed two runs, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, just 2 walks. He had a good game.
A great game for Moberly. A couple of nice outings as well. Gibson had himself a good inning there. It
And
was
how about
Cody-
Derek Hotzler?
and
5
Cody Aiden.
strikeouts in 6 batters.
Yeah, and Hotzler also. Our pitcher interview might have to be Hotzler once more.
Cody Aiden, you're right. Cody Aiden pitched well. To his credit, he went 2 innings, no runs, 1 strikeout.
And the Studs offensively, there was a lot of good performances. None better than Logan Shepard and Jake Gallagher. Logan Shepard, his final line. It looks like he went 3 for 4 with a walk. And then it's going to be Jake Gallagher who goes 1 for 2 with a triple, but also picks up 3 walks. So, Levi, I pose the question to you. Gallagher or Shepard, player of the game? As look at the Gatorade bath comes in, and he dumps it on Barry Aiden.
Wow,
Barry
look at
Aiden
that.
gets the lime Gatorade bath.
And Drew, this game may have been the clincher to win the Pacific International League. I'm not exactly sure, but I believe the 15-2 league record now. I think they have clinched it if they hadn't already. So that may be what the Gatorade shower is for.
Yeah,
It might be, and not that it was any question anymore, but this might have been the official clinching win. And Drew, I will say this. You asked me about player of the game. I am going to go with Logan Shepard. I think that the 3 hits ultimately more impressive than the 3 walks, but also Shepard checked in with 2 runs batted in, a run scored, and he stole a base. One of his hits was a double. Jake Gallagher, it was an impressive triple. I agree with that, but I was more impressed in total by Logan Shepard. So his final line, 3 for 4, 2 singles, a double, a walk, 2 runs batted in, 1 run scored, 1 base stolen. Yeah.
Yeah, great job by both of those guys. You go with Shepard.
I'm going Logan Shepard.
I might have to go with Gallagher. We're going to have to discuss this off the air potentially and who we're going to want to interview. But, we don't talk about it much, Levi, but I just want to get your quick thoughts on Barry Aiden and the job he's done. The Pacific International League is a tough league, but the Studs are making it look easy. 15-1 in their last 16 games against the Pacific International League play. It looks like they are going to officially clinch their spot into the College Baseball World Series.
Now, not to confuse with the NCAA World Series.
No,
it's
no,
the
collegiate.
National Baseball Congress World Series
Gotcha.
is what it's called.
In
Officially.
Wichita. That's
in
a
Wichita.
pretty big deal. Yeah, he's just done such a good job. He seems to always know what to say. He's a super nice guy. Talks to us pretty much every day that we're out the ballpark. Obviously, being an MLB player, guys definitely look up to him,
Yeah.
and for a good reason.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely, I would think having a former ball player as your manager really helps. It helps with the players. It also just helps them trust that we're in a spot that we're meant to be. We're being coached by a guy who knows his stuff, knows what he's doing out there, and he's a player's coach. I think he is truly a player's coach at heart, but he's also a coach who doesn't let them. I mean, he's not letting them mess around out there. It's 11-2. He's still got full steam on the gas, putting out his closer in a 9-run lead.
Yeah.
He's not messing around, and he knows he wants to win at Wichita. He's won it before. He wants to win it again.
Yeah, and not to discredit the dudes or anything, but who is still talking to his guys?
Barry
Aiden. Even after this big win. In Redmond, they're packing up. They're ready to go back home. Granted, they have a 2-hour trip up to Redmond if the guys are from there. But Barry Aiden he sees little things that they can fix, even in these big 11-2 wins. And that's kind of why he is such a good coach and why the players admire him. Well, this will do it here for the broadcast. The Studs win 11-2 in 9 innings here against the Redmond Dudes. Thank you guys all so much for listening in on this broadcast. I'm Drew Alba. Alongside me is Levi Couvert. We say good night here from Tacoma. Enjoy your night, everybody. Drive home safely. And as always, go Studs.